Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're making cumin lamb. To start this dish we need 1 pound of lamb meat. I'm using stew meat just because half the work is done for me. And we're going to go ahead and slice this against the grain into thin slices. Once that's all sliced up, we can add it back to the bowl. And to season, we are going to add in a 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt, half teaspoon of kosher salt, 1 tablespoon of Shaoxing wine, and 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. This is not only going to tenderize and flavor the meat, it's going to take away some of that gaminess. Then we're going to add a 1/4 cup of cornstarch, mix this around until all those pieces are well coated. And we're going to set that aside for 20 minutes while we work on the rest of our ingredients. For our spice mix, we need a 1/4 teaspoon of ground sichuan peppercorn, a half teaspoon of sugar, 2 tablespoons of gochugaru, being sure to spill it all over your workbench, and 2 tablespoons of cumin. We're going to give this a really good mix until all those spices are blended together, and we can set that aside until we're ready to use it. We need to do a very large dice on 1 medium white onion. Just going in and giving that a nice little choppity chop. We're also going to need a half cup of dried chilies, 5 garlic cloves, and we're going to slice this into thin slices. And we're going to mince up 2 tablespoons of ginger. Last but not least, we need 1 cup of cilantro. Just keep rolling this up into a bundle and giving this a rough little choppy chop. Now over on the stove, you should be heating up a wok or a heavy bottom pot. Over medium heat, we're going to add 3 tablespoons of neutral oil, and we're going to start searing our lamb in batches. And you don't want to overcrowd the pan. You definitely only want to cook this about a minute per side because lamb is so tender, you don't want to overcook it. So it should be rare. So just going in, placing in our lamb pieces, letting it sear on one side before going in and giving this a little flip and searing for another minute. Then we're going to pull that out and cook the rest of our lamb, again in batches. After all the lamb is cooked, we can pop that all into a bowl, add another tablespoon of neutral oil, add in our ginger, garlic, and our dried chilies, and we're going to let this stir fry for about 30 seconds. We don't want the garlic to burn, we just want all those flavors to release. After 30 seconds, we can add in our onion and let this stir fry for an additional minute before adding back in our lamb and sprinkling on our spice mix. And I like to sprinkle on in increments just to make sure everything is coated. Sprinkle, give a little toss, sprinkle a little bit more, and we're gonna let this stir fry for an additional 3 minutes. This is a really fast and easy dish. So after 3 minutes, we can actually, at this point, shut off the heat and add in our cilantro. We're just going to let that residual heat wilt down the cilantro. We don't want to overcook it, and we don't want to overcook our lamb. So shutting off the heat, adding in the cilantro, giving this a really good toss. And that is pretty much our cumin lamb done. Now I've just plated this in my favorite bowl, and we're going to garnish with a little sesame seed. And this is looking delightful. Now to serve, I always do recommend a nice fresh bowl of rice, and we can go ahead and give this a taste. This is so flavorful and aromatic. Cumin is a really powerful spice, but it complements the lamb so beautifully. The lamb itself is tender and juicy, the gaminess has gone out of it, and this is not only very flavorful, it is absolutely delicious and perfect for a weeknight meal. But there it is, cumin lamb. I hope you all try to make this in your home. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I really do appreciate it. If you liked this video, give it a like. If you loved it, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell because I put out new videos every Thursday. Thank you again, and until next time, happy cooking.